So the update, as you rightly pointed out, is 81. Of those 81, 66 are due to transmission within Lagos. We have an additional 15 cases that came off a vessel that was maneuvering off the coast of Lagos doing some oil and gas work, and that ship had a positive case. We airlifted the positive case off the ship, and we went back to test the 51 crew of the ship, and we initially found 7 positive. We removed the 7 from the ship to Yaba, and the company has isolated the remaining 44, and of those 44, another 8 have tested positive. So we will have a total of 15 from that vessel that is off the coast, that came in off the coast of Lagos. So that does not represent transmission within Lagos. So we're removing 15 from the 81, otherwise it will give us a false impression of what's going on in Lagos. So we only had an increase of about 8 new cases over the last 2 days. Of those 66 that are in Lagos, we're still contact tracing those that came in by air, and we are just about getting to the end of the 14-day surveillance, where a lot of people are coming off the contact tracing list from the imported cases, but we're contact tracing the contacts that are arising from the in-community infection. And those contacts are much less than the imported cases, because in the imported cases you will always have the manifest of the airline as well as the contacts that they've had when they were on ground. The question around severity, most of our patients are experiencing a very mild to moderate degree of illness. In fact, we don't have anybody that's requiring ventilation at the moment, which is a symptom of what we would describe as severe disease. So if we were to put some percentages on those 66, I would estimate that about 33 of the 66 are mild, and about 33 are showing moderate disease, just characterized by severe fever, feeling weak, some coughing, and headache and body pains. But it is not extending to affect the organs such that we have lung failure or kidney failure. So we haven't seen any of that yet. Never be 100%. What we're trying to do is just slow down movement. As I said earlier on today at another press briefing, we're just trying to avoid 2 random people coming into contact with each other. That's what we're doing with social distancing and lockdown. So why must we stop 2 random people from coming into contact with each other? Because many people with COVID-19 don't have any symptoms, but yet they're secreting the virus. So the way of stopping this outbreak is just to, for a period of time, to avoid 2 people literally coming within 2 meters of each other, or touching any surface that somebody else has touched. So a lockdown is just essentially to grind down movement in a city, to minimize it to as much as we can. It will never be 100%, but our job is just to slow it down to as much as we can. We don't want to come out with, security brutality. We don't want to demonstrate. This is not a military state. We're a civilian democracy. Children will be children. We discourage it, and when we see it, we would advise against it. But also, as civilians, we must play our part in this whole process of lockdown and social